Hello, chat. Welcome to the show. How's it going? I hope you all had a fantastic day. I know I had. I mean, how can you not go on Twitter without having a fantastic day between Mr. Altman, Olbermann, Mr. Olbermann. Look at it. I mean, dude, how can you not look at this and not find it beautiful? Look at this, right? How to piss off the fascistische American people, and you put this thumbnail. Now, for those of you who don't know why I'm talking with, I'm talking about Mr. Olbermann, who, again, live post game edition, 1 million followers, 24 nominee for political podcast of the year. He basically had a little bit of meltdown after the Supreme Court is ruling, right? 9-0. It's like even when Germany BTFO'd Brazil at the World Cup, I think it was like 7-0, like 9-0. That's an astonishment. And he goes on and he has like this meltdown. It's like, oh, we need to destroy, to abolish, to deconstruct the Supreme Court, evil, fascistische. And people were like, dude, stop crying. These are not tears, this is piss. And it's like, wow, what the fuck? He's basically saying that he's pissing his eyes, and he became a meme overnight. I do believe that he's going to get like memed for at least 1 month with that thing. It's just that I can't show any of them on YouTube because YouTube doesn't allow shocking content. That's what they call them. Shocking content. And shocking content includes water sports. So I can't show it, but like there is my favorite meme is this biology atlas of the human eye, and inside the human eye you have yellow liquid. V, you should apply for an HR position you can pass with your squeaky voice. I probably could. If I color my hair, I guarantee to you, if I color my hair and I identify as a mademoiselle. By the way, when you identify as a woman, do they call you Miss or Mrs.? Huh? How is it? American Outlier must know. If I identify as a woman, do you call me Miss or Mrs.? Because it is ma'am. But like ma'am has different subcategories. See, like, I have knowledge that even the dumbass gender studies professors do not know. Like, they should contact me. I'm that fucking important, chat. Like, if they contact me, I can lecture them. And they can go and professor that. Because I'm like, look, you don't understand, you fucking moron. Like, it's not it is ma'am, it is like Mr. or Mrs. Miss or Mrs. Like, there's subcategories and it depends on marriage. And it all stems from Christ. And, you know, like, you can... hi, V, glad to see your day is going good. 9-0. Yeah, 9-0. YouTube is getting whacked. You gotta understand why this is happening. Every single time... every single time you have like one of these interesting things, like you're not allowed to show shocking content. You know, like, it's because like someone at some point was showing it, right? And it caused a controversy, and basically YouTube just added to the rules. It's how it went. Like for instance, shocking content I think comes from when they showed that dead body in the forest in Japan. I think like that what caused the outrage, and it's like, okay, so you're not allowed to show dead bodies, and then they went like, okay, but like not gore and stuff. You have like also like for instance there is a rule where you're not allowed to show a child crying, right? Like you're not allowed to put on YouTube any type of content that causes distress to a child. So like if I were to go to my son and take away his lollipop and he goes like, you know, that would give me a community guideline strike. So you wonder, like, why is that? Like, why does YouTube care? Well, at one point, there was this family which had a YouTube channel, very popular, I think like 2 million subscribers or something, and all they did was to upset their kids. Like they had like all these sort of pranks on their kids. Like for instance, I think like in one of them, the dad got a chainsaw, and with the chainsaw, he broke into the kid's room at 4 a.m. And we're like, wow, 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 and the kids were crying. That video was very popular, believe it or not. Daddy05, is that what it's called? That video was very popular, right? And the thing is, like the ironic thing is that those kids with living with the terror, they probably had a very wealthy family, because like he was probably making at least 10 grand a month with that channel, like 2 million subscribers, right? But like it was a controversy. YouTube didn't like that, so they basically said, no, you can't have videos where children are in emotional distress. I can't show it. It got banned from YouTube. I'm pretty sure like it's in some corners of the internet now, but like the pranks were... I wouldn't like to live in that house. but it's better in that house than to live in poverty. So, pluses and minuses. We need the Supreme Court to rule that social media and YouTube can't censor anything. Well, the thing is, like, they ruled that the government can't ask social media to censor. Hello, Silvarero. Some of the pranks weren't as bad. Other pranks were like, again, you know, you're asleep, and then someone comes in with a mask and like, and it was quite pretty close. Like, if the kids were a little bit careless, like an arm could have flown off. But still, it wasn't like fun. That it over the course of time, you did see like some. I don't remember all the pranks, but like some of them were really bad. Anyway, I made a video on my main channel, and I was talking about how Naruto Uzumaki is a perfect analogy for the woke idea that if you do hard work, you're never going to get ahead in life, right? So like hard work doesn't mean shit. Like right now, the American leftist mindset is that you need to do absolutely nothing, right? There's no point. You can't climb the social ladder. The only thing you can do is to stay at home, cash your welfare check, and vote Democrat. And I'm like, no, you need to look at Uzumaki Naruto, right? Like Uzumaki Naruto basically states that you do need some luck, right? Like he was the son of the Hokage. He was the reincarnation of some asshole. But he worked hard. And there's chuckleheads arguing with me in the comment section. Motherfucker, you do not argue with me on anime. I am the fucking anime guru. I didn't watch a lot of anime, but the ones that I watched, I'm an expert on. I will school you in the fucking arts of Uzumaki Naruto, alright? Like, you do not get to talk shit to me. And it's like, no, V, it's not like that. No, you shut the fuck up and listen. Maybe you'll learn something, alright? My point is that Uzumaki Naruto was perfectly chosen. Perfectly chosen as an example. Uzumaki Naruto had luck, right? Like, he was born properly, right? He has the pedigree and the heritage, but he works fucking hard. Not only to befriend people and be likable, he starts as the weenie, the underdog. If he was like a leftist, if Uzumaki Naruto was like a modern leftist and sat at home and did fucking nothing, he would have died when Pain came up into the village. Right? Like, that is my point with this. It's like, yes, he had the gift, but he had to use the gift. It's like in the Bible. See, this is why I like the Bible. A lot of people hate the Bible, including Rags. I love the Bible, except the Jesus part and the supernatural. But other than that, like, the philosophy of the Bible makes sense. You have a father giving like 1 shilling. Takes 1 shilling and he gives it to his 3 kids, right? Like, each kid gets 1 shilling. And the kids invest the shilling. Like, obviously, if they didn't have the father to give them the fucking shekel, they wouldn't have had anything to invest, right? So, like, the luck happened when the dad gave the shekel. But, like, the son that buries the shekel, he squanders the gift. He pisses on the gift. He's like Olbermann. If you can't watch anime, read the fucking Bible. Do one or the other. I don't know. They're both as good. It is the shekel, yes. I keep talking about this example, which is like my idea that poor people love being poor. Like, the left just doesn't understand that there is a mindset of a poor person that likes to be poor. I don't know how many times I talked about this. I think I talked about it like 6 or 7 times. Let me see if I can find it on Google. I still don't know. I still don't know why certain people enjoy being poor, but it is what it is, right? So during the pandemic, no one is allowed to travel. I'll tell the story as short as I can. You have like this guy on a horse, right? Like there's no one on the streets are empty. This guy is on a horse, and it's like what? Why is this guy on a horse? What's happening? Well, apparently his wife was giving birth, and he wanted to go to the hospital. That now because he couldn't he couldn't take a car, right? Because it was the pandemic. The cops approach him, they stop him, they take him in the police car, and they drive him to the hospital. Now this guy right here, this muscular individual, is touched by his story. He's a K1 fighter. He's like a world-renowned sportsman, and he's like, you know what? I'm going to start a charity for this guy, and he gives this guy. He gives him a job. The charity raises a significant sum. I mean, I think it was like over 30,000. Like again, for a person that lives in a rural area, like that's a lot of money. He gets a house, right? So now all of a sudden, this guy, which lived in a cottage, like an actual cottage, right? He's got money in the bank. He's got a car. He's got a job for this guy. He's got all of these things that he didn't have before. What does he do? Sells everything and moves back into the cottage. And I'm like, okay, well, that is a mindset. Like, there are people that even when they get lucky, even when they manage to make money, they do not know how to keep the cash. Like, being able to keep money is a mindset, right? Like, you need to work hard. It's like why most people that win the lottery squander the money. Why most people that have an inheritance squander the money. The leftist mindset is that, oh, it's just luck. You're just born properly. No. There is a little bit of luck involved, yes, but you need to work hard. Yeah, you need to have ambition. My grandma was the same. God rest her soul. I don't know if I should criticize her or not, but like when I started making money, I wanted to give her stuff, you know, because it's like she took care of me when I was young, and I was like, well, now I have money and I want to take care of grandma. So I would bring her stuff. I would bring her, sweets and bananas, and sometimes I would even give her money. She would hold them for like 3 or 4 days and then bring them back to me, pretending that she is the one that bought them. You know, like she would bring me back the sweets that I got her. She would bring me back the cash that I got her. Or she would use the cash that I gave her in order to buy me stuff. And I noticed what's happening, and it really pissed me off because I wanted to actually do something for her. You know, I genuinely wanted to give something for her, but she didn't want to. It's the mindset. I don't know. It's like living for other people or something, because not everyone values cash. This is what the left doesn't understand. Not every single person lives for money. Some people live for other things. Some people live for family. Some people live for knowledge. Some people live in order to do something, like construct something. Not everyone just wants cash. At least 80% of your life is luck. A little bit. No, not really. Like, yeah, luck has a factor in it. But at the end of the day, if you choose to just stay at home and get the welfare, like you're not going to get any amount of luck to get you out of that situation. Use Red Buddhism, since most anime is based on. Maybe, I don't know. I love your grandma, what a lovely soul. Yeah, but like, dude, you don't know how frustrating it is when you actually want to do something nice for someone and you can't, because that person just like doesn't want anything nice to them, and it's very frustrating. As much as we don't like Bill Gates, I won't forget this quote. It's not your fault that you are born poor. It's your fault if you die poor. Yeah, I mean, again, kind of yes. Most people, like, here's my theory. Every single person has the ability to end up better than they left off. To end up better than they began, right? So, like, when you're born, let's say you're born with 10% of what other people have. When you die, you can die with like 20%. You know, like you increased your wealth. And then your kids can pick up from where you left off. Unfortunately, not everyone does the right decision. You know, like some people, they inherit stuff from their parents that they worked and they go gambling or they invest poorly. Other people may not even be their fault. Like maybe someone, imagine if you start a restaurant, right? Good business, great plan. You have a lot of customers and then COVID happens and it fucks you up and now you're on the street. That wasn't your fault. You couldn't have predicted it. There was nothing you can do, right? So it really depends. But if you do nothing, then you're going to end up poor anyway, right? So like at least if you do something, you can improve yourself. If you do absolutely nothing, you're going to end up being poor. If you are born into a rich family, all you have to do is not be an idiot and squander the money. If you are born poor, you could work like a dog every day of your life and barely get ahead. Yeah, but like if you're born in a rich family, as I mentioned, maybe you invested in a restaurant and then the restaurant goes under, right? Maybe you marry a woman and she gives you a divorce and takes half your shit. Like, just because you're born in a rich family, it doesn't necessarily mean that you need to be an idiot or something. I will tell you one more thing that I noticed at the University of Medicine and law school. The kids that were poor, like really coming from a poor background, they were studying really hard. While the kids that were sons of doctors and lawyers were out there partying, not studying, cheating at exams. And you understand why that is, because the ones that were poor, they were realizing this is my only chance. Like if I study hard now, I might actually enrich myself and get out of poverty. Meanwhile, the rich kids were like, well, you know, if I get a bad exam, if I get a bad grade, that's fine. I'll take the exam again. Mommy and daddy will pay for it. It's okay, you know, or mommy and daddy can talk to the teacher and maybe it's fixed. But like that's the reality of the situation. Anyway, right, let's talk about Gamergate. Gamergate, very important. This is the Chinese Wikipedia. And on the Chinese Wikipedia, you get to see the Gamergate controversy because it wasn't filled with the canceled pigs that is on the American Wikipedia. I love the expression canceled pigs. I don't know who coined it, but my fucking god, I wish I had it 4 years ago. Canceled pigs. Yes. The canceled pigs that are on the West have made absolutely sure that the Gamergate article on Wikipedia is absolutely sanitized. And apparently, according to Grooms, which used to be the higher up at Blizzard, before Blizzard went to shit, is basically pointing out how the PR person of of Zoe Quinn and Sarkeesian, they worked to hide the real reason why Gamergate happened. Wikipedia, a woke hive filled with canceled pigs, was complicit. Compare the US version to the Chinese version where they had less influence. So the Gamergate controversy grew out as a debate between the hashtag Gamergate, and the controversy was framed by mainstream media as an issue between sexism and progressivism in video game culture. Gamergate advocates called it a social movement against mainstream media control of online public opinion. The Gamergate is used to summarize these controversy, debates, and actions of those involved. In August 2014, it was centered on game developer and writer Zoe Quinn, game developer and politician Brianna Wu, and feminist media critic Anita Sarkeesian. The debate began after Quinn's ex-boyfriend Ira Johnny wrote a blog post accusing her of having affairs with at least 5 men. Users of the Gamergate hashtag accused Quinn of sleeping with industry insiders in the gaming media in order to develop her own, The Independent. Game Depression Quest is paving the way for public opinion. Gamergate supporters said that there was an improper collusion between the news media and feminists, progressives, and social media commentators to use various means to suppress online public opinion after the incident broke out, blocking all comments on Zoe Quinn, speaking unfavorably on the situation and using media exposure to vilify sexism in the player community. The Gamergate controversy has been described as a culture war spanning cultural diversity, artistic perception, social commentary, and the social identity of gamers in video games. So basically what happened is that people noticed that game journalists, up until, I would say, 2010, game journalists were actually excited about video games, right? And they would be like, oh, this new game came out. It's really great. Let me write like 5 articles about how to improve, right? Like, here's how to play the game better. Here's the cheat codes. Here's the secrets. These are the builds that you can have, right? And reading gaming magazines was actually exciting because it was written by people who liked the medium, who liked video games, for other people who like video games, and it was really great. However, as time moves on, like, people notice that video game journalists, they start shilling for bad games. Like, there was the game Gone Home, gets 10 out of 10. They start promoting various products like Doritos. It's like the Dorito Pope, right? You notice that the gaming awards are rigged. It's like, what? Why is this game winning a gaming award? Like, no one knows what the fuck this game is, right? And then you have, like, all sorts of feminist nonsense being injected into the gaming world. It's like, you know, like, feminist talking points, like, oh, the patriarchy, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, what the fuck? Right? And all of the game journalists were doing this. So, it's exposed that one of these people, Zoe Quinn, like, her boyfriend, Iranjani, writes a blog post. Now, this is after Zoe Quinn, a feminist, says that cheating is like rape. Like this is her statement, right? Like, if you cheat on your girlfriend, it's like raping her. Because she wouldn't have given you consent if she knew that you were cheating on her. Like one of the most dumb takes ever, right? Like, this is just bizarre. Like, what the fuck? Like you're trivializing rape, right? Imagine, like, two rape victims, one to another. It's like, so what happened? Well, I went to India, and this is actually an event that happened last week. I went to India, and like, 6 men jumped me. What about you? Oh, my boyfriend cheated on me. You know, like comparing these two things, like, using the same umbrella to describe them is very disingenuous. So anyway, like, this is her statement, right? Everyone is laughing at it, and then it turns out that, well, actually, her boyfriend accuses her of cheating 5 times, so I guess, like, he was raped 5 times by her, right? Like, so, obviously, you know, like, this causes, like, a small scandal, because, like, sex scandals existed since time immemorial, do exist, and will always exist. But, the problem is that the people that she was accused of having an affair with were married. Like, some of the game journalists that were accused of having slept with her were married. And the game journalists freaked out. It's like, well, we can't allow this to talk. It makes me look good. But what if my wife sees it? So they started censoring. Now, at the time, in 2016, the idea of censoring the internet was unthinkable. The internet was American. America stands for liberty and freedom and free speech. No, like, you can't just censor people. That is wrong. It's almost like if you're a cancel pig, you are treated like a fucking racist at the time. Like, you don't censor the internet. Now, sure, you censor stuff that's like, you know, spam, off-topic conversations, like, you know, things that were vile. Like, if you have a website for children, you don't allow murder. Like, there was some, but never on political grounds, never on political opinions. Like, that was unthinkable. So, because of the censorship, people start racking up, and the controversy becomes larger and larger until there's two sides that are forming. And this is the version of the Western Wikipedia, right? So, Gamergate was a loosely organized misogynistic online harassment campaign and right-wing backlash against feminism, diversity, and progressivism in video game culture. Do you see how they manipulate the language in order to describe? They were hyper-focusing. Like, this was what the articles at the time were saying. They were basically saying that the only reason that the scandal started is because men don't like women having sex without... That was never the conversation, no. No, like that, we don't care. No, it wasn't because of Zoe's sex life that people were outraged. People were outraged because of the allegations that she slept with industry insiders in order to get a better grade for her game. Like, that was what people were out. It was the payola, the corruption, the nepotism. Like, that was what pissed people off. Not that, like, Zoe Quinn is having a sex life. No one fucking cares. The same concept was when Tiger Woods got involved in a sex scandal, or when Bill Clinton got involved in a sex scandal. Like, it happens to men. Hulk Hogan. Like, you know, every single time there's a sex scandal, people talk. It's not like, oh my god, it's because it's a woman. No one fucking cares. The only reason that even she came into the crosshairs was because a couple of months ago she had that bizarre statement about cheating. So anyway, beginning in August 2014, Gamergate targeted women in the video game industry. They failed to mention the fact that many women were part of the movement, that there was a thing called hashtag not your shield, where there were a lot of minorities and women saying, like, no, you do not represent us. Because this is what the Chinese Wikipedia is talking about, that people were outraged that the game journal press has a sway on public opinion. It's like, well, you're basically not reporting the facts. They were calling themselves allies, like the journalists were calling themselves allies, so they weren't interested in the truth. They were interested in suppressing the outrage, suppressing the backlash, right? So, making Gamergate difficult to define, that's not correct. I mean, there were people on YouTube that were content creators. The press refused to interview any one of them. There were many figureheads in the movement that, like just like any movement, it's like saying, oh, well, the farmer protest is made of many farmers. It's difficult to define. It has no leaders. Like, yes, it does. I mean, there are some influential people amongst every single group that you can talk to if you want. You know, like, how do they negotiate with the farmers if there's no leaders in a protest? Every single protest, sure, it doesn't have a leader like in a military, like there's no organization. But you do have, like, people that are more influential, that can call the shots, that can sway opinion. I mean, anyway, right, so Gamergaters claimed to promote ethics in video game journalism, claim to be protecting the gamer identity, and opposed to what is asserted as political correctness. I love the way that they use quotation marks in this Wikipedia to pretend that, like all of these are imaginable things, that they were just spreading bizarre conspiracy theories. Like, what the fuck are they talking about? There is no such thing as political correctness in video games, right? There's no such thing as ethics in game journalism. Like, of course, every single gamer website is ethical, right? An attack on a gamer identity, like, what the fuck is that? What are they talking about, right? Meanwhile, look at what the press was promoting, right? It's dangerous to go alone. Why are gamers so angry? End of gamers. A guide to ending gamers. We might be witnessing the death of an identity. The death of the gamers and the women who killed them. A disheartening account of the harassment going on in the gaming industry right now, right? Gamers don't have to be our audience. Gamers are over. All of these articles came out within the same fucking day, right? Like, the press was in lockstep in order to control this PR disaster that was blowing up in their face. People were basically saying, it's like, hey, we're sick of activists. We just want our entertainment back. We need to bring that mentality back. We do. But the thing is, like, it's here. Jesus, what is this garbage? It's the Wikipedia. Yeah, the gamers are dead, Barrage. I think, like, it was 30 articles or so, released literally in the same day, a couple of hours apart. Like there is no way to look at this as anything else but a coordinated PR stunt. And none of this thing explains. It's like it was a misogynistic. It's like, but why though? Like why did gamers not like women playing video games? It makes no sense, right? Especially if you look before the year 2014, women didn't play video games because they weren't popular. Like, they would look at a man playing video games and they would say, why are you such a child? When are you going to grow up? Only children play video games. Like, stop playing so many video games. There was that meme with the girlfriend that was skimpily clad dressed and the guy doesn't pay her any attention because he's playing Dota, right? Like, this is what we're talking about. Women were always welcomed in video gaming spaces. They just didn't have that interest in it at the time. Like, every single time you had a woman playing a video game, like, if she joined the World of Warcraft guild, immediately she got promoted to officer. Any single space that had women playing, like, she was the center of attention. Like this nonsense that, guys don't want to play with girls. It's, like, bizarre. No, if people share the same hobbies, if you have two people playing video games, that's grounds for a relationship. That's ground for flirting. It's... Imagine someone going like, oh my god, I love football, and this other girl comes like, oh, I like football too. Get away from me, you hag. Like, that doesn't happen in real life. Gamergaters created conspiracy theories, falsely accusing Quinn of an unethical relationship. That's not what happened, right? Like, no one is saying that people were conspiring with each other. Her boyfriend released a post accusing her of cheating. That's it. And the journalist freaked out. Like that is what happened. There's no like falsely accusing, or you don't know if it's false or not. Her boyfriend made an accusation. Now, there is no way you can show that if it's false or true unless you were with her all the fucking time. Right? Or like something in the accusation didn't add up. Like they said she's in New York when at the time she was in Singapore. Then you can say it was false. But at no point was it debunked, right? Especially when you look at the Me Too era, where a simple accusation was enough to destroy someone's career. I mean, this will happen after. This is in 2014. But after 2014, a simple accusation was enough to destroy people's reputations. It was just like, and all the accusations, like what I loved about, like it happened on Twitch. Like there was a lot of these accusations on Twitch, and every single one of them had something in common. Every single one of them. The woman, she just didn't know. She was like a leaf in the wind. She had no knowledge. Like she was the embodiment of pure innocence. It's like, so I went with him in a hotel room, and all of a sudden I was in bed with him, and I realized that his hand was going under my shirt. How did this happen? How did I end up here? Why did he think this is appropriate? You know, like all the accusations were literally like copy paste like that. And some of them weren't even talking about anything inappropriate. Like, let me give you an example. There was an accusation that went against one of the guild masters of one of the most respectable World of Warcraft guilds. And apparently he was talking with this girl, was flirting with her. She shows the messages and she's definitely leading him on. Like she's flirting back. And he suggests, hey, let's move to this house. And she says, right, okay, we're going to move to this house. So it was him, a friend of his, and her. And they moved there, and at night he makes a move on her, right? Like they're sleeping in the same bed, and he goes next to her and touches her, and she says no. And he backs off, right? And the next day, he tells her to sleep on the couch. And he then tells her that she needs to pay rent. So this is her Me Too accusation. It's like, oh, he's blackmailing me. Oh, I don't understand why this is happening. It's like, how can a man behave like this? And I'm like, the fuck? Like, first of all, okay, so you said no, and he pulled away, right? Like, he moved his hand off you when you said no. And then he's telling you to sleep on the couch and pay your fair share. Yeah, no, I'm sorry, there's no crime there, there's nothing wrong, there's like, no, that's normal, right? Like, if you don't want to be in a relationship with him, why should he take care of you? Like, you're not his girlfriend, you're not his responsibility, right? You're his friend, so now pay a third of what you're due. But again, like on Twitch, that was a big thing. It's like, no, you're not allowed, like, she's a woman, you're a man, like, how the fuck dare you? It's difficult to understand the mental insanity and the moral panic that happened during those years. The government started censoring the internet after Trump got elected. And with journals seething after Gamergate and infecting everything is why everything is so bad now. Yeah, but like this is the proto-censorship of the internet. So like back then, the internet wasn't censored top down. Like most of these companies didn't have like, they weren't beholden to advertisers. They didn't have to listen to the government. It was just like the journalists had moderators in high places. So they had moderators on NeoGAF, they had moderators on Reddit, they have Johnnies on 4chan. And this is why like every single website was censoring the stuff. And why it's hashtag Gamergate is because the conversation was on Twitter. Because they didn't have higher ups at Twitter in order to censor. Hello, Smokey of Stormman. Offering to be in a relationship equals blackmail. Refusing equals not getting the benefits of accepting. Yeah, like, the Law and Order SVU episode. That was just, mwah, chef's kiss. There was another accusation by another Me Too. Like, I was reading these Me Too's and I was laughing my ass off. Like, none of them would hold in court. None of them had anything illegal. Angry Joe got the funniest. So like, Angry Joe had this woman accusing him of like Me Too, but like again, like it used to be like Me Too is about like, okay, so I got sexually assaulted or something, and now it was just like a man inconvenienced me in some way, right? So this woman claims that she started talking with Angry Joe, and she shows the DMs. And again, like, the same thing, like, she's flirting with him, she's leading him on. And he invites her to this event. So she goes to this event. She sits at a table with him, and he introduces her to other content creators and big people. Like, basically, if you were an upstarting YouTuber, like, if you wanted to make YouTube videos and you have, like, some level of charisma, with what Angry Joe did by introducing you to these content creators, you're guaranteed to make it. Like, you're guaranteed that in 1 year you're going to have at least a 50,000 subscriber channel. Like, there is no fucking way you won't, right? So, she's introduced to all these people. And after a while, Angry Joe, like, wants to go to his hotel and takes her with him. At no point she says no. Like, this is what I noticed in all these accusations. Like, they were like a leaf in the wind. They, like, things just happen, events unfold, they're dragged with them. Like, they're not adults, right? Like, they can't just say no. They have absolutely no onus, no that. So she is taken to the hotel. And, at the hotel, you know, that there's more talking, and there's more flirting, and then he invites her to his room. And she says no, and Angry Joe goes like, okay, you know, like, I really hate that people take advantage of me. And from his point of view, I can understand this, right? Because, like, when you're thinking of Angry Joe, you shouldn't think like just any average person. Like, he is, well, at the time, he was a very popular influencer, like a star on YouTube. He basically was the man when it came to gaming. So it makes sense that a lot of people try to befriend him just to get his influence. And that's what he's talking about, right? And the woman basically accuses him of taking away all his contacts, right? Like, the moment she said no, he blocked her and doesn't want to talk to her, and he thinks that's blackmail and that's unfair. And you're reading these B2s, you're like, what the fuck? Like, what am I reading here? And all these women that were doing these accusations, overnight they would get an influx of subscribers, like massive influx, you know, thousands, if not tens of thousands of new subscribers and viewers. And meanwhile, the guys that did that, that were accused, they would get banned by Twitch. They would have their videos suspended. They would have, like, all this thing getting dropped by sponsors. And that happened for, like, 2 years until I think, like, Twitch even started having a rule against this. It's like you're not allowed to accuse Twitch staff of stuff, I think. But it's... I gotta say, it's very interesting. Like you had my point is, like, you had all these accusations, and all you needed is an accusation. Like, there was no evidence, no investigation. Many of the accusations didn't even have logs or discords or anyone to corroborate. Like, the moment you get an accusation, that's it. So, going back to Gamergate, why would it be different when Aaron Johnny makes an accusation? Why is his accusation? And you know what? I actually believe his accusation because it's so fucking outlandish. Funnily enough, Zoe Quinn, for those of you who don't know, actually is accused, and this time is true. She ruined the life of another game developer with an accusation, right? So, like, this game developer was a little bit unstable, to say the least, and you could notice based on how he tweets and how he acts, right? And Zoe Quinn says that this guy assaulted her. Like she literally says that he stuck his fingers inside her hole and dragged her around the house. And you know that this is a bullshit accusation because when you looked at the size difference between those two, it's like he was this scrawny looking dude and Zoe Quinn was twice as big as him. It's like, yeah, like normally a man can overpower a woman, but like given the size difference and the body mass, like then there is no fucking way that what she was saying is true. So she accused the guy. He ends up getting dropped by everyone. Everyone ostracizes him. There's no evidence. There's nothing. It's just her word. And then the guy ends up self-deleting. Now, in any other situation with any other person, like that would be it. Like, if that happens, right? I mean, look at what's happening with Ninja Sanji, and it's just like the accusation that's enough to do that damage to a company. But anyone else if you do that, right, like if you bully someone, if you ruin someone's life and they end up doing like the worst thing ever, you're dropped everywhere. No sponsor wants to touch you. Like, no, people are going to unsubscribe from your channel on YouTube. Like, you're not going to get a job for at least a couple of years. That thing will stick with you forever. Not with her, though. Like, she worked at DC Comics. She got, like, one of their flagship titles in order to make, right? But my point is just to see the difference between the culture, right? Like when Zoe Quinn accuses someone of something, 100% true. When her boyfriend accuses her, right? So it's the PR person. The PR person for her was a genius. Like, they managed to wipe away the slate clean. So apparently, Gamergaters created conspiracy theories falsely accusing Zoe Quinn. The alleged unethical collusion between the press and feminist, progressive, and social critics. Right. We know now. We know in 2024 that there is collusion between the press, activists, and social critics. Like, we know. They even pay for that. They're consultancy firms. Like, this is what Sweet Baby is all about. Like, we know they exist. These claims were widely dismissed as trivial conspiracy theories baseless or unrelated to actual issues of ethics in gaming and journalism. Again, today, we know that this is true, right? Like look how much they lied. Gamergate supporters frequently denied that the harassment took place, falsely claiming it to be manufactured by the victims. Also true, like the FBI did an investigation, they didn't find a single person to, not even to arrest, but to prosecute. Brianna Wu was exposed. She said she ran away from her home. However, when people looked at the background, it was the same background from her home. It was the same desk that she had at home. I mean, and not to mention, like, at no point did any of the harassment was linked to Gamergate. Like, Anita Sarkeesian showed a screenshot of a tweet. Hold on, let me show you the thing. Why people didn't believe the experts. The thing is, like, at the time, most people didn't even know how Twitter works. So it was very easy to manufacture this outrage. I need to see if I can find the... Give me a second. And not to mention, like, most of the abuse was so milquetoast compared to what was on the internet. I don't think I can find it, but basically, it's probably buried, huh? Like they managed to bury it. So there was this guy that, like, I found it. Oh my god, I'm so happy, because this is something that when you look at it now, it's like people can notice just how bullshit it is, right? So like, this is okay, finally. God, why is Google like... Alright, this was the thing that actually got the press in an uproar, and everyone was like, oh my god, this is so horrible, like, how can this happen to her? And they linked it to Gamergate, right? So it's an egg account, like, they're not even logged in, like, random troll, 10 tweets, screenshotted after 12 seconds. Like imagine that, who does that? Like, okay, so if it's an egg account, like, you're not even logged in. You're not even logged in when you're taking the screenshot. And it's like 12 seconds. And it's basically, oh, Anita, you're so beautiful, so sexy, you know that. I'd give anything to drink in your laugh and smiles. They're talking about how I want to bite the side of your neck and drink your blood, like vampire fetishes things. And most people were like saying, well, hold on a little bit. isn't Anita into vampires? Like, doesn't she like Buffy? Isn't this like a fetish thing? It's almost like she wrote her own death threats, you know? Because again, like, even if this is legit, like, even if this was actually sent by someone, there's no linking to Gamergate. There's no evidence that he's even a gamer. There's like no, like, but the press all of a sudden, no, this is proof, right? So when the other side had like, yeah, like our proof is the Iran Johnny post, right? Like the boyfriend of Zoe Quinn is posting this. Their proof that Gamergate is harassing Anita Sarkeesian is a troll account with no link to Gamergate whatsoever. And they're not saying that Anita is spreading a conspiracy theory. They're not saying that allegedly, right? Like, yeah, it is like she wrote her own erotica. This is what like the internet was claiming at the time. Never has a woman joining men playing games been a good thing. They are called the fun police for a reason. The fun runs away fast and the flash on crack. I met women that were actually more edgy than the boys. I met women that knew how to have fun. Maybe they're Romanian women. Like, I don't know. Like, maybe women in America are different. But I do know, like, tomboys and girls that actually knew how to not tone police and how to do banter. And these ladies exist. They're very rare, but they exist. I mean, I did have ladies that never got offended if you picked on them, and they just did banter back. Most of these girls, though, they didn't really fit with other girls. Like, they had, like, maybe one or two girlfriends, but, like, everyone else that were their friends was a guy. It used to be called tomboy. I think now it's called trans. But, no, seriously, like there are people now, like, experts and ideologues on Reddit that they believe that if a woman behaves that way, she's not a tomboy. No. She must be stuck in the wrong body. The actual cool girls get bullied by the clique women. Yeah, like that. They weren't the two cliques. Like, I think that's the thing, right? Like they had like a very masculine behavior, and because of that, they would get. It's not that they would get ostracized, but like when you behave like a guy, you kind of speak what's on your mind. You make fun of other people as a joke, and that just doesn't work in a high school environment that's feminine, right? Was Brianna Wood that sent hate mail to themselves? I don't know if that was Brianna Wu. I know that she lied about leaving her house. Like, that is definitely on the record. Zoe Quinn, obviously, like, did a lot of lying as well. And there were, like, a lot of people accusing her of nasty stuff. Like, Zoe Quinn is a very controversial individual. Anita Sarkeesian herself, not so much. Like, she was the most professional out of everyone. Like, she was the one that was the most connected to the mainstream media. And like, everyone else was playing Little League, but, like, Anita Sarkeesian was, like, the queen grifter. So basically, like, you have, like, all these other, like, going in the muck and, say, little people that were in the controversy. Like, at least Zoe Quinn, she was in the controversy because, well, the accusations. But Brianna Wu and Anita, they injected themselves into the conversation, right? So, like, they literally injected themselves. No one. It's why they were called literally Who. So at the time, like, people wouldn't use their name. It was literally Who 1 and literally Who 2. But yeah. Why does Dev seem to think that Brianna Wu is reformed or something? Because Brianna Wu recently does have, like, some right-wing takes. Like, they unironically did a 180 on a lot of the ideology, and it went to the point where Brianna Wu was arguing with Mundane Matt on trans issues, and Mundane Matt was more pro-trans than Brianna Wu. I'm not making this shit up. Like, this actually happened. I like, when I saw it, I had to confirm it because I know that there's no fucking way. I forgot what they were arguing about. But again, like, you had to actually go and see, like, okay, so now Mundane Matt is more leftist than Brianna Wood. That is a hot take. That is interesting. I think it was 2 years ago. Yeah. Don't forget, they went in front of the UN. Yeah. Zoe Quinn and Anita Sarkeesian went in front of the United Nations. Yeah, that's true. It's like, it's not that Dev is gullible or not. Like, I don't give a fuck. It's not like I'm going to go out and have a beer with Brianna Wu or something. But the thing with Brianna Wu, I will tell you this. Okay, so Brianna Wu had a Patreon, which at one point was making $30,000 a month. Let me check if that's true, because I don't wanna spread any misinformation. So Brianna Wu Patreon. It was also bizarre because these people were donating to each other. It makes no fucking sense. Does she still have a Patreon? Oh, she still does. Now she's making just $147. Maybe it wasn't 30 and it was 3,000, because it's a big difference, and I want to make sure I get it right. Yeah, I don't know, but she was making, like, regardless, she was making an insane amount of money. And you read her Patreon, and you're like, okay, well, what does she need the money for? And apparently, she wanted to hire a person to go through her social media in order to block stuff that she finds offensive. I'm not kidding. Like, that's it. And like, that person allegedly was supposed to be paid thousands of dollars. And then she makes this picture. And I'm like, dude, this is a very expensive looking motorcycle, right? So, what do you have the money for? And then people find out that she's filthy rich. And I'm like, okay, this is where, because up until that point, the left was all about caring about the poor, caring about the homeless, the orphans. I'm not kidding. Like, there was a time when the left allegedly cared about that, right? The vulnerable people in society. And now, the left championed millionaires. They championed the wealthy. As long as they had the sub-story that fits. Oh, look at this poor millionaire. Oh, look, they're harassed online. Oh, life is so cruel. Life is so unjust. Can you imagine being... I remember, like, making videos about this at the time. And I was saying, like, oh, these people are filthy rich. Why do we care about their plight? Like, can't they cry in their bags of money? And it's like, just because she is poor doesn't mean that she isn't suffering. I'm like, I'm not saying that she's not suffering, but, like, surely there are poor people that also suffer, right? Like, suffering while rich is a different state of emotion than suffering while poor. I would rather care about the poor people, right? Because, like, rich people can help themselves. If someone is richer than me, how can I help them? They have more resources than I do. They have more connections than I do. They have more access to stuff than I do. If they can't help themselves, how can I? But a poor person, yeah, I can help. Fucking hell. What? That's a Honda bike? It's a Honda. Yeah, that's really cool. They never cared about the poor. But it doesn't really matter if they did or not. It's like, allegedly they did, right? Like, at least they would talk about the poor. They would talk about the homeless. They would have, like, some sort of compassion that you can say, yeah, you know, like... But now it's like, these people that are literally millionaires, they're swimming in fucking cash. Like amounts, take into account this is before inflation, right? So $1 million then was like 3 or 4 now. And it's like, princess syndrome is a real problem in the West. Yeah, I mean, I think, like, this peaked when Meghan Markle came out. It's like, oh, I'm so oppressed. Oh, I'm so oppressed. It's like, you're royalty. You're literal you don't pay taxes. What the fuck are you talking about? How are you oppressed? You're married to a prince. And you had, like, Prince Harry and Meghan and Oprah, like 3 of the most wealthy people that I have ever seen in my life. Like, chat, listen to me, okay? If we all married each other, all right? Like, if love is love and we could all marry each other, our entire family wealth would not even compare to the amount that those women were having. And they're like, oh, I'm so oppressed. Oh, don't you care about me? Oh, surely you must care about me. I suffer from racism. I mean, cry in your bags of money. Like, little princess, little royalty. What the fuck? Like, if you're not happy, then like if you have issues, wait until you hear mine. Right? Like, if you have issues and you don't know how to fix them, wait until you hear my issues. Stop oppressing Oprah. Yeah. It's like, how? God damn it! Like the thing with the woke ideology that pisses me the most is that it tries to imply that rich millionaires are vulnerable just because they're women. I'm like, oh, come on. You can hire a security detail. You know, it's like, hire a security detail and it will protect you from the mean things online. The people on the Titanic were rich too, but they actually had problems. No, you know what? No, like, fair enough. There are certain issues that rich people can suffer. So, like, if I see a rich person and their house caught fire, yes, I mean, that is something that sucks. Sure. I can relate with that. I can't imagine what it's like. Even if, but I will tell you this. I would still rather help the poor person, because the poor person that had his house burning down, he may not have money to build another. So we can all pitch in and try to help them out. But the rich person that has his house burning down, fuck can I do? Like, they already have money to build another, right? Like, providing they're a billionaire. Like, if Elon Musk, through an earthquake, his house gets broken, he can build another, right? Like, he doesn't need my help. I can't even help him if I want to. I'm surprised Bezos' ex-wife wasn't crying oppression. There was like that meme where feminists were saying that women are oppressed because men earn more. And there was like this meme with like the capitalist pig, and he had like the trophy wife that was living like a queen. What is $10 to $1 billion, let alone $1 billion? Yeah. His watch costs more than my house, probably. Actually, maybe not. Usually, like, rich people, they don't like to show the wealth. Like, when you look at Elon Musk, I don't see him, like, displaying a lot of bling. Like, a rapper does, you know? Like, if you're a rapper, then you have, like, a lot of bling. I remember the worst thing that came out of fashion was the chalice that the rappers had. All right, so hold on. Let me see if I can find the picture. This was like, I think, in the 90s. I don't know if I can find any videos of it. But it was like, okay. Yeah. So imagine a rapper. This was like the fashion of the 90s. This was like so fucking weird. You had like rappers that already like covered themselves in all sorts of bling and jewelry, and they had golden teeth, and they had like chains everywhere. And now it was like, all right, but they still had money. Like, what else can they do? So they would commission a chalice. And it was usually like with diamonds and shit, like real diamonds and real gold and stuff. Like, it was like $1 million or something. And they would just carry it around. Like, they would go to an interview and they would just hold the chalice. Like, no fucking reason. Like, I bet it was so uncomfortable to just, like, walk around and carry that thing. And that was, like, the fashion at the time. And it was, like, so fucking cringe. Hold on. There needs to be, like, rapper chalice. Alright, yeah. Okay, we got it. So, kind of like this, right? Like, you get the rapper, and he's got like the chain and the golden teeth and a crown and everything like that, and then a chalice, and he carries this every fucking where he goes. He just carries it around. And it's like, isn't that uncomfortable? Like, why? To be fair, I like a nice chalice design. Yeah, but like a chalice is something that you place on a table. Hello, Dev. A chalice is something you place on a table. It's there and you forget about it. But like, these people would walk around with the chalice everywhere. Every fucking where. It's like, don't your hands get tired after holding that? And you also had to hold it properly, right? You couldn't just like hold it like, grab it by the cup and just like hold it upside down or something. No. You had to hold it properly. If you live in poverty, there is no difference between a tech billionaire and a rap billionaire. If you live in poverty, there is no difference between a millionaire and a billionaire, right? The reason that most social justice activists, they talk about billionaires and trillionaires is because they're close to millionaires, if not already. That's why champagne socialist is a thing. They can't even conceive the level of poverty that exists under them. This stuff got on my nerves. I remember my aunt was complaining about how Oprah went her vacation in Europe and how they treated her. And in my mind, I'm like, why are you upset for a woman who buys a yacht? Her response is my racism. Oh, fucking hell. I just... Not to mention, you know, like in a world where racism is... Like, if you have a racist story, you make more money, right? Like you're incentivized to come up with these stories. Of course she's going to have racist stories to tell. I don't believe that people were racist towards Oprah. Like, fuck off. Even the fucking KKK know who she is and they would be nice to her. By the way, this was an interesting question that I saw on Twitter. And it was something that got me thinking. If the KKK would all of a sudden own the rap industry, right? So like you have you have people of this ideology in charge of the rap industry. Like they're controlling the publishing houses, they're controlling the media which promotes people, right? How would they be able to make black people look worse than they look in rap music now? And what I'm talking about, like if you listen to most rap music, they're singing about drugs, they're glorifying violence, they're glorifying gang culture, they're glorifying all of this stuff using the N-word, right? Like there is a reason why I say dropping the N-word like is the new rap album. And this never gets criticized, right? Like anime and video games always gets criticized, but this one isn't. Like they will say, oh, a racist joke normalizes racism. But like singing about gang culture doesn't normalize his gang. You're not even allowed to criticize. Like if you even dare to criticize this music, if you're even like saying, yeah, I don't like the lyrics, it's racismus. It's like, no, actually, you know, I like jazz music. That's also influenced by black people from a previous generation. And I think that music is superior to many genres of music that exist today. But like particularly the hip hop music and the rap music, yeah, I think they're making the singers look bad. Yes, I definitely think that this is not the type of music that is uplifting individuals, right? So like, again, if the racists, like if the most racist people on earth would get control over the rap and hip hop music, what could they do in order to make the singers look worse? And I still, like usually it pisses off social justice activists, they will call me racist, but no one answered. No one gave me something. It's like, tell me, what could they do to make them... No one says anything. Femoid rights was a mistake, as true as gravity. The only thing I can think of is promoting pedophilia. Okay, right. Well, I suppose that is one way. Yeah, like that would make it worse. Yes. The past decade has made me racist and sexist. Interesting how like with all of the money invested into diversity and anti-racism and anti-sexism, we can't look at a chart and say, yeah, you know, like with all the work from the academia and the Democrats and all of this stuff, racism has gone down and sexism has gone down. No, like we can't say that. Interesting, isn't it? So where did all the money go? Because it was like $1 billion industry. Where did the money go? Literally are clowns. Yeah, I mean, no, but the interesting thing, again, is that every single entertainment is criticized, right? And anime is made by Japanese people, and that's criticized. So every single piece of entertainment is criticized, even like the smallest jokes, like South Park is already dangerous and harmful. But hip hop music, no. And what's interesting is, like, if you guys remember the Gillette commercial, right? So the Gillette commercial was against sexism, right? So you had like a Gillette commercial, which basically said that boys will be boys is a horrible saying. It needs to go away, right? Men need to stop being sexist. Like, if you want to pick up a woman on the streets, don't even dare. And it had like all these pictures of misogyny, right? And one of the pictures of misogyny that it showed, it was a black rapper that was singing, and money was falling from the ceiling, and there were two women that were dancing. And they were in bathing suits. And Gillette publishes that commercial, and within a couple of days, they remove that image with the rapper. Everything else gets to stay in, but that image of the rapper gets removed. Now what's even more interesting, because why I even noticed it, is that you can't do that on YouTube. You can't like remove a clip, a small portion of the video. And they did it. And I think now maybe you can, like maybe with new YouTube's editing functions you can, but at the time you couldn't. So what I think is that they got a phone call. They got a phone call from someone higher up, like a PR person or something like that. They got a phone call and like, remove that shit immediately. And they complied. You're not allowed that. Well, anime sells. No, I don't know the justification. I think the people who own the industry, like again the gatekeepers, the media, the the people that own the production houses like Sony and whatnot, I think they have it locked down. I think like you don't fuck with them. And that's the thing. It's like their music is their thing. You don't mess with them. You don't touch it. You don't talk about it. You don't know. I can't explain it any other way. Like everything else you can criticize. You can criticize baseball. Because a lot of people say, well, it's because it's music sung by African Americans. So what? You can criticize baseball. You can criticize like a lot of other things. Just not rap music. Like that one is sacred. You're not allowed to touch it. No. You're not allowed to criticize it any way, shape, or form. And it, like, it's not even that. It's not that you're not allowed to criticize it. Because we don't have like someone that criticized hip-hop and bad things happen to them. No one does for some reason. And no one even brings it up. No one even talks about it. No one even know. And like, just so you know how privileged that genre of music is. You get criticism for Baby It's Cold Outside, right? Like Baby It's Cold Outside, that one is a music filled with misogyny. No, we can't sing it, right? Meanwhile, Wet Ass Pussy is trending on YouTube to the point where, and by the way, the lyrics of Wet Ass Pussy, let me look at the lyrics. And let's compare it to Baby It's Cold Outside, right? So Baby It's Cold Outside is encouraging rape culture, I was told. Horrible, horrible song. And take into account that this is like, you can't have fan service in anime, right? Like, you can't have sexy women in video games, no. And I want you to compare these two songs, right? So Baby It's Cold Outside. I really can't stay, but Baby It's Cold Outside. I've got to go away, but Baby It's Cold Outside. This evening has been hoping that you drop in. So very nice, I'll hold your hands, they're just like ice. Okay, so this is the evil song. Now let's sing the one which was on YouTube's trending. Whores in this house. There's some whores in this house. There's some whores in this house. I said certified freak 7 days a week. Wet ass pussy. Make that pull out game week. Woo. Yeah. Yeah, you fucking with that wet ass pussy. Bring a bucket and a mop for this wet ass pussy. Take into account that, again, like, fan service is bad, right? Like, we can't show any anime girls. We can't know, like, that. No. Right? If a video game has, like, lewd depictions of women, no. Right? Like this one, I simply must go, but baby is cold outside. The answer is no, but baby is cold outside. Your welcome has been, how lucky that you dropped in, so nice and warm. Look out the window at the storm. My sister will be suspicious. Gosh, your lips look delicious. My brother will be at the door. Waves upon the tropical shore. Right? This song is horrible. Tie me up like I'm surprised. Let's roleplay. I wear a disguise. I want to park with that Mack truck right in this little garage. Make it cream, make me scream. Out in public, make a scene. I don't cook, I don't clean, but let me tell you, I got this rig. Yeah, you fucking with some wet ass pussy. Bring a bucket and a mop for this. Gobble me, swallow me, drip down the side of me, yeah. Quick jump out for you, let it go inside of me, yeah. I'll tell him where to put it. I never tell him where I'm about to be. I run down on him, for I have N-word running me. Right? One of these songs gets a lot of criticism. Even the BBC is abhorred by it. The other one is trending on YouTube. Can you guess which one is which? So not only that, now what's interesting is that if you find the lyrics to be vulgar, you should look at the video, right? So this video, which was on YouTube, wasn't age restricted, is the performance. Now what's interesting is that Belle Delphine replicates the entire video. Like scene by scene, frame by frame, right? Belle Delphine, that was her name. She gets her channel deleted. She gets her fucking channel deleted for that one video where she replicated scene by scene the most trending video on YouTube. She had to create a controversy on social media. She had to get people to point it out and tweet at Team YouTube to get her channel reinstated. I'm not showing. Of course I'm not showing. The most perverted hentai mansions are less dumb than the WAP music video. Dude, if the WAP music video was an anime, they will all be, oh my god, she is but a child. Ban it, censor it, Visa, MasterCard, demonetize these platforms. Oh, Crunchyroll, you have to do something. You're a big publisher. It is your responsibility to protect the children. Like every single fucking time. If it comes from Japan, it is evil. If it comes from the West, it's fine. The record company paid YouTube V so that WAP can stay. I have no doubt. I can't prove it. I don't know for a fact. But let's say it's not that I wouldn't be surprised. I'm leaning towards that being the case. I do think that YouTube was paid in order to promote it. I think it was sponsored content, yes. And not only that, we get to see that the rules didn't apply. Again, the original WAP video didn't have age restriction. Hold on, let me check if it actually has age restriction now. So the video has 523 million views. Hold on, I need to make sure that yeah, no, it's got commercials on it. It's like everything is fine. It's not age restricted. Yeah. WAP style propaganda. Anyway, right. I think we should end it here. It was funny. Well, I ran out of subjects to say. So thanks for watching. And what day is it today? Tuesday. 2 more days and we got Dungeons and Dragons. Thank you for the super chats. Really appreciate it that you guys were here. And I'll see you tomorrow.